YouTube, what's going on, people? Well, I think the topic today will be relationships part two. Relationships part two. I think I covered some things in part one, but I really wanted to get to the meat and potatoes in part two. Relationships and recovery. Relationships, man, can be a very painful area. So you have to be extremely mindful of the relationships you have in your life. Primarily, I'm talking about romantic relationships, but also just relationships in general. Like I said earlier, you gotta be careful, of the people you keep in your circle. You definitely gotta be mindful of those that you allow in your intimate personal space. And when it comes to personal physical relationships, you have to be even more careful. People today, women today, are very, very conniving. They are very conniving, and they are very unpredictable. Especially women in 12-step fellowships. They already have a substance abuse problem, which is usually stemmed by some sort of mental health issue. On top of that, they have all these other symptoms like low self-esteem and fractured personalities and abandonment. A lot of sexual molestations in their life. And I remember a guy said to me some time ago, he said, man, women catch it early, man. They at a young age they catch it early. Guys be fine, people in their family be fondling them and touching their breasts, and so they deal with sexual issues early. And then the molestation from somebody touching you and your family, it's just crazy. So they got a lot of stuff on their plate, man. And I found that out, in one of my past relationships. One of the woman out my last marriage, she was really broken, man. She was a broken individual, and her way of dealing with things was that was then, this is now. It didn't kill me. I'm here. I'm doing all right for myself. That's not how you deal with issues, by brushing them under the rug. And as a result of it, all of the control issues that surfaced, she had some sexual demons, things that she wasn't, she hadn't dealt with, So, all of this stuff, man, plays a major part in evaluating who you let into your circle. And I wish I had known this stuff, some time ago, but I'm thankful that I realize it now. You just have to be, because what happens is that they always show, the the impersonator or the representative always shows up first. That's the person that you go into the movies with, you go into dinner with, you going down, hanging out on South Street with, hanging out, at the Dell with, listening to the concert. You dealing with the representative. And only do you find out who the actual person is until you do something that goes against their grain. Then the anger comes out. And depending on what it is, you'll see things, revenge, retaliation, depending on how severe whatever it was that you do touches the person, you'll see the other side of them. And then that's when if this is somebody that you can plan a future with, or is this something that's going to be something that is a one-night stand or a 1 month stand, or something you need to get the fuck away from immediately. All of this stuff is predicated on finding out who the individual actually is. So I know in the Blue Book it talks about they suggest that you stay out. I think it says that in there. It might not say. I think that was something that people came up with, that they suggest that you stay out of a relationship for a year. I think that was just something that came out the people's mouth. But I know the Blue Book says that relationships can be a very, very painful area, and to be mindful of them. And I agree 110%, especially early in recovery. You have to be extremely mindful, because you're not accustomed to dealing with feelings and emotions, and if usually when we get clean, we meet somebody, we like them, they smile at us, it's the first, positive real relationship we've had in a number of years, depending on the length of your using, we get the white picket fence syndrome and the walking down the aisle and the kids and all of this, and it's all predicated on a fantasy, and then when the other person shows up and we're not equipped to deal with it, a lot of times, man, it can cause people to relapse, hurt themselves, whatever, it can happen because, we haven't dealt with, matters of the heart. And so, we're so used to, pushing stuff down, so deep that, it don't affect us, and then covering it up with some drugs, to numb it, that we don't know how to deal with certain, personal issues in our life. So that's why it's real important, to be mindful of, of the people you allow in your circle. It's not, you ain't going to die from not having sex. You're not going to die from not having a woman in your life. It looks good when you see other people, living and enjoying life, and it looks like it's fun, but you don't know what goes on behind people's doors. A lot of times people put on the front. I know I put on the front. I would go out and be smiling like, everything was peaches and cream. And then, at night, she go to her side of the bed and I go to mine. It was no love no more. It was no passion in the relationship. It was empty. It was empty. And it wasn't from a lack of me not trying, but it was because I didn't know what else to do. And she wasn't helping the situation. She wasn't working with me. She wasn't, making me feel like, I want this thing. So, that's why, things happen the way they happen. and because I wasn't prepared, at the time to deal with the issue and the hurt that came along with it. When she asked me to leave, I went to one of my properties, and I yarded out. I started using real crazy. But that didn't last long because the reality set in that there wasn't nothing gonna get better this way, and I wasn't doing nothing but creating more problems for myself. And that wasn't what I wanted. And I was gonna show her how she fucked up. The mistake she made. She let a good dude slip through her fingers. So, it ain't worth it in the long run. It's really not. It's just not worth it, man. Take your time, investing in yourself, invest in the people around you. If they don't invest in you, then they not going in the same direction you are. Remember, those that matter don't judge. Those that matter don't judge. Those that judge don't matter. Peace.